At 4,000 meters, the wreck is not an object. It is terrain.
Steel remembers stress long after people are gone. Line first. Curiosity second. Entry marker set. Return logic confirmed.
At this depth, hesitation is safe than spectacle.
No contact. No snag. The first truth inside a wreck is geometry. Small things survive by being overlooked. Junction ahead. Read it, then move.
Junction A confirmed. Route still clean.
Stairwell void confirmed. Stay on the rim.
Crack with marine snow logged.
Mail rooms preserve intention better than memory.
Tools endure when paper fails.
Door opened with minimal force.
One object can prove who traveled, not just where the ship went.
The audio features a narration stating, "Messages that never crossed the sea." Cloth often tells you someone was here before the bones do.
Pinned by the counter collapse. The terrain explains the posture.
Documented. No contact. Leaving the context intact.
Mail room complete. Route continues.
Service spaces show the wreck with fewer illusions. Crew systems still leave a name behind. Tool store ahead. Tight, but readable.
Maintenance artifacts often outlast passenger luxury.
Open enough to see. Not enough to damage. Tool store documented. Back to the line. Ceramic survives where wood gives up.
Bath door opened. Controlled entry only.
Low ceiling. Keep below the hazard.
Personal grooming objects survive as fragments of routine.
Nothing forced. Nothing removed.
Bath documented. Returning to the main route.
Stairwell void confirmed again. Route still matches.
Cracked landmark still in place. Public spaces feel safer until collapse redefines them. Larger room, same rule. Read the floor first.
Status leaves traces, even when names do not.
Silt pocket ahead. Slow. Small silt out. Stop moving.
In a wreck, the line becomes your horizon.
Visibility back. Route adjusted.
Doorways collect both people and collapse.
Fabric caught on architecture usually means the architecture won. Second trace at the door. Stay careful. Checking the pocket from the line.
Shelter and trap can be the same shape in a sinking ship.
Loop marker set. Route remains legible.
Public lounge ahead. Larger room, but still a trap.
A lounge, once designed for comfort, now reads as a load diagram.
Trace first. Presence before identity. Second trace. Same direction.
The room's collapse explains the refuge and the entrapment at once.
Documented without contact. Context preserved. Timepieces freeze, but context keeps moving.
A social room leaves small games behind.
Leaving the public room. Service route ahead.
Food service route confirmed.
Pantries become sediment traps faster than almost any room.
Tight room. Keep the line clean.
Service silver can identify class, route, and company habits.
A passenger object carried into a service room by motion or flood.
Look through before crossing. Galley entered. Overhead and floor hazards both active here.
Galleys age into machinery graveyards. Not every personal object stays where it began. Enough to identify, not enough to stress the join.
Galley complete. Moving into the scullery.
Service rooms fail inward, making every meter smaller.
Daily work survives as fragments of sequence.
Under the pipe chase, one clean pass.
Vertical service systems become navigation anchors once motion stops.
Recovered by light only. Nothing enters the shaft. Route adjusted at the service landing. Clearance drops again.
Some objects linger because they were clutched, not stored.
Pinch point ahead. Read it before committing.
At a tight hatch, line position matters almost as much as body angle. Entering on an offset angle.
Near stuck. Freeze. Do not push.
The correct reaction to a pinch is controlled reversal, not strength. Change the angle, not the force. Pinch cleared. Suit and line both intact.
Small landings matter because they let judgment catch up.
A small object, still exactly where the room kept it.
New corridor. Overhead hazard again.
Old communication routes often survive longer than the rooms they served. One more human detail, left at a doorway. Near the bridge, the wreck begins to speak about decisions rather than comforts. This is a good place to mark and return from.
Bridge loop marker set.
Chart room ahead. Breach on the starboard side.
Here, even the map room is partially open to the seabed. Navigation survives in fragments too. Again, fabric arrives before the full story. Second trace at the chart table. Pinned by the table collapse, not washed to the window. The room itself kept this position. Chart room documented. Returning to the loop without altering the site.
Marker confirmed. Moving into the command spaces.
On wreck surveys, the threshold tells you more than the room name. Wheelhouse ahead. Open room, dangerous edge. The bridge is where decisions once moved faster than the sea. A command object, silent long before the room went dark. Fabric at a control station can mark panic, duty, or a last attempt to hold position. Second trace. Same terrain, same story direction. The framefall explains both the posture and the place where the body stopped.
Documented. No contact. No change to the site.
Leaving the wheelhouse edge for the office route. Captain's office. Overhead first, then floor. Private authority leaves a smaller room, but not a safer one. Personal office object, left exactly where it rests.
Sometimes restraint preserves more evidence than access ever could.
First trace in the office. Second trace. The room is narrowing around it. Shelter behind furniture became entrapment when the room failed downward.
Office documented. No debris moved. No contact with remains.
Route remains clean. Moving to the next command room. Command spaces cluster tightly. That helps the route stay legible. Wireless room ahead. Small room, dense hazards.
Wireless rooms compress urgency into furniture and wire.
The room still holds the shape of listening.
Administrative detail survives even where the signal does not.
First trace at the operator's station.
Second trace. The pocket is doing the holding.
Pinned by equipment, not thrown by mystery. The room explains the body. Wireless room documented. Nothing moved.
Leaving communications. Entering storage.
Signal locker. One usable lane.
Storage rooms become contour maps of failure. A signaling tool, preserved by being boxed in. Storage documented. Route continues down the companionway.
Companionway ahead. Breach on the right, wall route on the left.
Even a semi-open passage remains a container if the walls still dictate the body. A passenger object caught where the structure peeled apart. Leaving the deckhouse edge, going deeper into the interior again. Vent corridor ahead. The right side tear is active. In deep wrecks, airflow's old job becomes water's new one. Another pocket-sized object saved by a corner. The flow is changing, still readable, but active. Good junction, good place to mark.
Stern loop marker set.
Past the stern loop marker. Flow is building.
Pulse rising. Eyes on the line.
When the corridor starts disappearing, the line is the room. Near whiteout. Line and marker only. Orientation recovered only because the route was marked and the line was never released. Pulse passed. Corridor geometry is back. A marked route turns a temporary whiteout into a recoverable problem. Aft ladder well confirmed. Stay on the surviving edge. Fabric at ladder height usually means someone tried to use the route after it had already failed. Second trace at the broken crossing. The split platform explains why the body stopped exactly here. Documented. No contact. The crossing stays untouched. Aft ladder well complete. Storage room ahead. Lamp room. Clear left wall. Avoid the glass. Small storerooms preserve their purpose by the way they still constrain movement.
Maintenance detail, preserved by being boxed in.
Open just enough to identify. No need to disturb the rest. Lamp room documented. Mechanical spaces ahead.
Emergency tiller route confirmed. Clearance is tight.
Cloth under machinery usually means the machinery changed faster than the person did.
Second trace in the same lane. The corridor's own narrowing explains the shelter attempt and the entrapment. Recorded without contact. The corridor remains exactly as found. Mechanical landing ahead. Clearance improves slightly. By the stern systems, even the room labels become diagrams. Steering gear compartment. This is the stern's center of force. Here the wreck stops resembling accommodation and becomes raw mechanism. Precision tools surviving in a room built for force feels almost cruel.